alone with Unify. Wow. So he put all his eggs in one basket.
Thank you, ma. I will deliver, man.
And he went from Kankuku Kangono to Chicken King. Unify, making life easy.
Iwe, ngia ibeva mkashana kaboyo kubuturuke fikwatini tute. Makeup. Na wishiwa, inedionsenga ndia kuchalonda making sure at ninchita moisturize skin nimpopoka. Mbomfia Romeo glycerin. Ukupopoka chani.
Action!
Romeo for naturally pure, radiant skin.
It's here! The ZNBS Learn, Win, Shine Deposit Campaign. Your chance to save, win, and shine brighter than ever. Universities, colleges, and schools that open a ZNBS institutional account and maintain an average balance of 200,000 kwacha over the campaign period will be entered into the grand draw to win a brand new 16-seater bus. That's not all. Second place takes home a solar power package worth 200,000 kwacha, while third place walks away with another worth 100,000 kwacha. And parents, this one's for you too. Open a Smart Kids savings account. Keep a balance of 2,500 kwacha, and you could win a solar power package worth 150,000 kwacha, or one of our monthly tuition prizes worth 10,000 kwacha. The ZNBS Learn, Win, Shine Deposit Campaign runs from 4th November 2025 to 4th May 2026. Visit any ZNBS branch or go to znbs.co.zm today. ZNBS, it's possible to build, buy, or renovate your dream home.
Today,
Start big with Victory Cornflakes.
Victory Cornflakes.
The end of your journey will be big. Stay on your feet, chase to achieve. Give it your all and just believe that it's gonna be big when you start big. Victory Cornflakes. Start big today. Victory Cornflakes. Remember to always keep it, do it. In whatever you do, it. Keep it in whatever you do.
Today, the best maize grain Zambia has to offer are perfectly toasted into golden flakes that pack a big crunch. Today, start big with Big Tree Cornflakes.
Good evening, it's Monday and welcome to tonight's edition of Diamond Live. We're so happy you make time Monday, Wednesday and Friday. We are breaking down some of the things that have happened throughout the weekend up until today. A little later, of course, you will also be participating on the program by calling us this evening. I'm Cheswa, Peter Kapasa. Thanks a lot for making time.
And I'm Chimweka, Chileshe. It's another day, 24th of November 2025, coming through from quite an eventful weekend. Yeah. And a lot that has happened, quite an eventful day as well. And we'll be breaking down some of these stories. And as we always do, we start our show with today in a snap.
Well, welcome back. President Hakainde Hichilema is set to address the nation tomorrow in a press briefing. I think there's a lot of expectations to this presser. The president did when he was assuming office 4 years ago, he did emphasize that he would be speaking to the media more often. I think he had mentioned quarterly, if I'm not mistaken. And there's quite many issues, I think, that people expect to be addressed tomorrow at State House. I think the media expected to be seated at about 9 o'clock.
Well, quite a lot indeed expected from there. And the president did hint towards some of the subjects that will be discussed, issues around hooliganism, conduct of members within the political space. I think in the last week, Cheswa, we have been talking about this, and we have seen reactions from different stakeholders regarding how, for example, the United Party for National Development as a party have conducted themselves, some of their members. We saw not so long ago an attack at the Patriotic Front Secretariat where some people got injured. And we got a confirmation from the National Youth Chairman under the UPND that indeed those were youths from the party. Not so long after that, we saw those structure that was established in Northmead here. People putting flags, UPND flags.
I mean, there's a lot of activity that's happened in a very short space of time.
Within a space of 1 week, just within, and this came shortly after the.
Are people just too excited?
It came after the Chingola incident, after we heard the declaration that cadreism has started. And then all of a sudden, you see all these, incidents taking place. A structure that was established in Northmead with the UPND flag there, traders being displaced. Lusaka City Council had to come in after the media went there and reported on the issue and took down the structures. Then later, you see a Patriotic Front, a member of the Patriotic Front, the acting president of one of the factions, being hounded out of a venue, being harassed. And then eventually one of their very own gets to admit that it was one of their members. Yeah. Those were the members there. So I mean, you look at all those incidents. I think it's worried the president. I guess that's one of the things that the president wants to touch on. And we can probably even anticipate him bringing up another issue, which is around the protests that are scheduled to take place on Friday.
I mean, that's been a major subject just from yesterday into today. I mean, ministers, members of parliament, suggesting that the protest will just divide the country. I mean, we hear from Home Affairs Minister Jack Mwimbu, who, in fact, is a Catholic himself, saying that he places the church in high regard and he would not want to see these protests because, I mean, they will just divide the country. He would rather people dialogue than having the protests. We see also Defense Minister also speaking out on this.
There were 6 of them, Cheswa, just to help you with that. There were 6 of them. In the press briefing, only 3 of them.
Cabinet members of cabinet ministers.
Cabinet ministers who are also members of parliament. 2 of them are being nominated, others elected members of parliament. So you have Mr. Jack Mwimbu. You have present in the briefing earlier today was Mr. Jack Mwimbu, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. The person was reading the statement on behalf of his other 5 cabinet ministers was the Defense Minister. Ambrose Lufuma. Next to him was the Ministry of Technology and Science Minister, Felix Mutati, but not present but represented where the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations, who was our guest not so long ago on Diamond Live, Mlambo Haimbe, Madame Doreen Wamba, who is Minister of Community Development, was also represented. And, well, not cabinet minister, but provincial minister in Chimweka also being represented. So these, I guess, are the Catholics within who hold ministerial positions under this government also getting to speak out. And some of the content of their statement today spoke towards how, they are speaking, first of all, in their capacity as ministers also, but who belong to the Roman Catholic Church. But in a nutshell, what they're advocating for is for the church, mother bodies, and all those who feel aggrieved, the Law Association of Zambia, who want to be a part of the protests, and those who disagree with Bill 7 going through, should meet with President Hakainde Hichilema at State House, because he's called for this meeting to happen. So he's saying instead of you going ahead with the protests, let's meet, let's discuss, and see what will come out from that. But it's quite interesting because President Nijirama also met with civil society organizations a few months ago at State House.
Well, I mean, he met students who marched to State House, and I mean, yes, even though that wasn't a protest, but I mean, if it's a peaceful protest, then
no. But the students were not exactly. The students went there to go and introduce their new leadership there, which is a different context.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying that if students can be given the opportunity to march, to State House, because I mean those that are protesting suggest that they would like to march from Freedom Statue all the way to State House.
Clearly, there's a difference. The students went there to want to meet the president, and I guess also gone into to show love to the president as they went to do. That's what they went to do. But it's different here because you're looking at people who are protesting against what clearly we've seen from the UPND government they're trying to push, which is Bill 7. It's been very clear. We've seen people from government, in government rather, members of parliament belonging to the UPND, being the ones supporting Bill 7. And we've also seen a number of stakeholders who've been against that. Just today, Cheswa, I've been seeing a lot of videos that have come up on social media showing the UPND members protesting against Bill 10. When they took to the streets to protest against Bill 10, they were saying no to Bill 10. Bill 10 should not go through. And their argument is that reputable organizations, the church, reputable civil society organizations have said no to Bill 10. Why is the PF government, at that time, why is the PF government pushing this down on people? And people have said no. And the people they're making reference to, church mother bodies, they were making reference to civil society organizations, institutions such as the Law Association of Zambia.
Protests did happen.
Protests did happen. They were moving with placards and so on. They did happen.
Shouldn't it happen now? I mean, shouldn't people be given the same space?
And leading that protest was Mr. Anderson Banda, who is Lusaka youth chairman.
I mean, I think that there should be a level playing field for everybody. And I think I did hear Honorable Chimweka, who now just spoke out for the first time since his incarceration. He was speaking about having a level playing field. I mean, people must be consistent with what they advocate for. If you shut down Bill 10, I mean, it's the same sort of content that was in Bill 7, and things are still coming back in Bill 10. Why must we not shoot down Bill 7 if we manage to shoot down Bill 10? This is what Honorable Kafwaya was saying in that audio.
And he further argues that anyone who didn't support Bill 10 and is supporting Bill 7 is being hypocritical. And he says, well, they're being inconsistent. In his words, he says they're being inconsistent. He says consistency demands that if you rejected Bill 10, then you must reject Bill 7. And he went on to say that he is being consistent because he was against Bill 10 and in his consistency, he's against Bill 7. And he feels those who are supporting Bill 7 but were against Bill 10 are not being consistent because the content is pretty much the same from what has come through from that. So a lot has come out really around Bill 7 and the conversations continue, but with the Republican president calling for dialogue to happen. I think maybe that's one of the big differences between now and then, that you have a president who says, well,
there's a call for dialogue at least.
Come through, let's meet at State House, let's talk about this, let me hear your concerns, let us also tell you why we think Bill 7 should go through, the benefits of Bill 7, and maybe from that dialogue, things can happen differently, because just sometimes what people need is just to speak with one another. Sometimes you have disagreements, you have misunderstandings, but we've seen people who've not gotten along, but when they get to meet, when they get to discuss,
at least there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Maybe one side gets to open up. Maybe those who are rejecting it, maybe we'll see a different side of it that they didn't know, or maybe those who were supporting it might also see another side that they perhaps did not put into consideration. So it could go either way.
Well, perhaps the Oasis and the Catholics should perhaps maybe just meet the president, hear what the vision is for the Bill 7, and then when they're not happy, perhaps is when you can say, well, now we can have our protest. Maybe there should be benefit of a doubt to just meet the president and have this dialogue meeting. I mean, if the president has extended a hand that I would like to meet you, then perhaps why not give it a try?
But
why not
the big question is, what would be different from the earlier conversation? Because remember, when people also rejected Bill 7, so many concerns came up. And what did we see? President Hakainde Hichilema met with a number of CSOs, including those same CSOs that were against Bill 7. He met with them. They met at State House. They were present. They discussed. People raised their concerns and so on. But we've still seen that Bill 7, there's a whole technical committee that was put in place to look at some of these issues. And by the way, submissions need to be made back because there's been a lot of engagement going on in the different parts of the country, and now submissions need to be made back as to what these engagements have come up with. What have they gotten from the different submissions that they've received from members of the public from different walks of life. So it'll be interesting to see what will be different, even from this dialogue, or what is going to materialize. Who is going to have to, give up their end of their bargain from all of it?
Well, I mean, the Minister of Tourism, just in another quick snap, seems to be under fire. I mean, he is being accused of failing, the entire tourism sector. We did see some protests there from some of the wildlife officers who are calling for some improved working conditions. I mean, there seems to be quite many protests the last couple of days. I mean, you're talking constitutional amendment protests. Now you're talking, protests from these wildlife officers that would like their, working conditions to be improved. They have down tools, and they're suggesting that they will not go back to work. But the minister also is just, surprised and shocked that people need to use the correct channel of, raising their grievances. People must not go to the media. People must not express themselves through downing tools.
If we could just rewind that a little bit, Mr. Director, on I just noticed something in the clip. If we can just have that taken back a little bit, if the director can just help us with that as we continue looking at one of the stories from the week. I don't know if our director is going to help us out. Okay, I think it's moment is coming back. I mean, this is some of the placards, obviously, people talking about the president to address them. Some of them have been saying we want the minister, one of the former ministers, Sylvia Masebo, to come back. But just getting back to the clip, I mean, quite a number of submissions that are coming through from them. They're talking about what they want in terms of uplifting their conditions of service. President to go, we want Masebo back. This is one of the statements coming through. Respect our service, respect our rights, equal pay for equal risk. Can keep it going, recognize our service, uplift our fellow officers, suspension, and they name some of the people there. And I mean, quite a number of things that have come out from all of that. Let's just keep going, Mr. Director, in terms of what is coming out from there. But like you said, Cheswa, the minister did speak and talked about the channels that they expect to be used in the process of all of this. And he did mention that there are certain discussions that are put in place, and when people get to act like that. By the way, he says it was just pockets of individuals, and he says that sometimes can create division with what could be going on there. Something I was trying to point out, but it seems our director doesn't want to play that part of the clip. I mean, it played, so I don't know why our director is not going back to that part of the clip that already played.
Well, there seems to have been a lot happening with the Ministry of Tourism. I mean, just not long ago, we see backlash of the minister letting down models.
I think maybe that's why, because maybe he saw the Manchester United jersey and was trying not to put Manchester United on TV, but sorry, just so you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it seems the Ministry of Tourism is coming under fire. I mean, just not long ago we saw models, Alice there talking about how the Ministry of Tourism was not there for them, how the Ministry of Tourism was not marketing much of the models at an international level and so on. So, the Ministry of Tourism minister there, Sikumba, seems to have quite some work to do in as far as working conditions, but also he mentioned something very important that tourism is about, especially that we're talking about wildlife. How are people going to advertise, or how are we going to market Zambia if we protest, if we're showing the international community protests? How do we market the country if we're showing these grievances on air? Why not use appropriate channels to raise grievances and not going to the media and showing the international community what our grievances are like? So that's pretty much it. But we will be joined by the Lunte Member of Parliament. He is a PF presidential hopeful. Would like to hear what he has to say. I mean, there's a lot that's happened in as far as the Patriotic Front is concerned. The PF convention has been postponed to a later date, and now there seems to be some uncertainty within the Patriotic Front. Lunte Member of Parliament, Mutotwe Kafwaya, will be joining us to talk many of these issues around the Constitution, the future of the PF and the economy. Join us shortly.
One, two, three, and all my clothes are squeaky clean. Quick to remove the dirt and stains, and the fresh fragrance remains. Never seen nothing like it, that's exactly why I like it. So whether color white or black, it brings a new right back.
The ZNBS Learn, Win, Shine Deposit Campaign. Your chance to save, win, and shine brighter than ever. Universities, colleges, and schools that open a ZNBS institutional account and maintain an average balance of 200,000 kwacha over the campaign period will be entered into the grand draw to win a brand new 16-seater bus. That's not all. Second place takes home a solar power package worth 200,000 kwacha, while third place walks away with another worth 100,000 kwacha. And parents, this one's for you too. Open a Smart Kids savings account. Keep a balance of 2,500 kwacha, and you could win a solar power package worth 150,000 kwacha, or one of our monthly tuition prizes worth 10,000 kwacha. The ZNBS Learn, Win, Shine Deposit Campaign runs from 4th November 2025 to 4th May 2026. Visit any ZNBS branch or go to znbs.co.zm today. ZNBS, it's possible to build, buy, or renovate your dream home.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret My secret companion, best kombucha, gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities. Now you know.
Chip kawosh 20 kwacha 20 kwacha 5 kwacha kawosh ya chipa 5 kwacha kone 9 binto.
How much for a plate?
Everything is better with Binto. Binto noodles, full of unique flavor.
Meet Lucy, a dedicated professional. Her days are filled with meetings and deadlines, but there is one thing on her mind: getting motor insurance for her brand new car.
But I need to get my insurance done though.
As Lucy begins her car journey, excitement fills the air. But she knows there is something crucial missing: safety and protection. The fear of being pulled over by traffic police looms over Lucy. She dreads the complicated and time-consuming process of getting insurance. Will she find a solution? Enters MGen on my WhatsApp. Just a chat away, this service transforms the way you buy motor insurance. It's not just efficient, it's also extremely convenient. With MGen on my WhatsApp, Lucy can now focus on what truly matters: her journey, her ambition. Insurance simplified. Text HI to MGen on my WhatsApp to easily buy, renew, or validate your insurance. When it's worth it, it's worth talking about.
Stay entertained anytime, anywhere with DSTV Stream. First, download the DSTV Stream app from your app store. Sign up and create your multi-choice ID with your email, phone number, and password. Link your DSTV account to your customer number. Choose SMS or email verification. Confirm with the OTP sent to you. Download the DSTV Stream app now and never miss a moment.
Today,
start big
with Victory
cornflakes.
Victory cornflakes.
The end of your journey will be big. Stay on your feet, change to achieve. Give it your all and just believe that it's gonna be big when you start big. Start big today. Remember to always keep it, do it. In whatever you do it. Keep it in whatever you do.
Today, the best maize grain Zambia has to offer are perfectly toasted into golden flakes that pack a big crunch. Today, start big with Big Tree Cornflakes.
Welcome to an electrifying new epic of agricultural shopping. Nestled in the bustling Lusaka showgrounds, the Nemkim Agri Division is more than just a store. It's the lighthouse of advancement, searching for top-notch biosecurity, cleaning, and pest control solutions. Attention! Local businesses, your quest ends here. Get ready for a thrilling journey in agricultural retail. The future begins at Nemkem Agri Division, your supermarket for superior quality. The revolution of agricultural shopping starts now. It's about empowering your business and nurturing your community. Call us today or visit our shop at the Lusaka Showgrounds.
The meaning of life is not to simply exist, but to move ahead. To rise up and achieve. To conquer. Introducing Kung Fu Energy Drink, your push for the next conquests. Kung Fu Energy Drink. Master the power.
Welcome back to Diamond Live. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema is tomorrow expected to address the media. Expectations are quite high, and citizens are eager to hear from the head of state address a number of critical issues that have dominated national headlines in recent weeks. Issues around the state of democracy in this country, but also towards issues around the cost of living, which is something that is on the minds of so many Zambians as they work towards making ends meet. And as far as democracy is concerned, in our multi-party democracy generally in this country, the largest political party in the opposition by parliamentary representation, the Patriotic Front, were expected to have a convention this weekend, and this was to elect a presidential candidate for the upcoming 2026 general election. This has since been postponed. We're joined this evening by a presidential hopeful of the Patriotic Front. We do have the Lunte Member of Parliament, Mr. Mutotwe Kafwaya. Good evening and welcome to Diamond Live.
Good evening to you. Thank you so much for having me. Good evening to our viewers.
Quite a lot has been happening within your party. Let's start off with issues surrounding your party as the Patriotic Front. As a hope for yourself, what do you make of the news around the postponement? And I believe you're also supposed to have a central committee meeting over the weekend that was since cancelled. What do you make of the latest happenings?
Okay, so thank you so much. What I do know is that there's a recommendation from the aspiring presidential hopefuls to the Central Committee of the party. As of now, I do think that the Central Committee has not yet met. Therefore, the decision to postpone has not been passed. Because as you know, the Central Committee is the only body mandated to take these decisions and also to reverse, postpone and things of that nature. So I am aware of an agreement in principle by aspiring presidential hopefuls to make a recommendation to the Central Committee of the party to postpone until we resolve a few issues.
What could be some of those issues that you seek to resolve?
Well, I think I'm not in a position to discuss the issues surrounding the reasons for presidential hopefuls to recommend a postponement, because I think those, firstly, I'm not charged to speak on behalf of the party, and secondly, I think those are internal matters that are being dealt with within the party. So I am not able to go into those. But just to say that I am aware of that recommendation, and that recommendation was arrived at in a unanimous manner.
Who is the legitimate acting president at the moment, according to you?
Okay, so the acting president of the party is Honorable Given Rubind. There's no question about that. He was appointed by the late president to act as president of the Patriotic Front Party. But we are also sitting with another dynamic where the court has established Honorable Mao Sampa as the president of the Patriotic Front. For Honorable Mao Sampa, he's not acting. According to the court, he is the president. But for Honorable Given Luwinda, he's acting because that is a position which he held even when the late president was there. He was the acting vice president. So once the president, who we recognized, passed on, then he began to act as president.
You have failed to have a convention the last 4 years. Is there a leadership crisis within the party?
I don't think there is a leadership crisis. If you observe how many people have expressed interest to run as presidential candidates, that shows you that there's potential for leadership in the party. But this is a process. You know, going to the convention is a process, and we might have not achieved the end of that process yet. We will certainly get there.
With Mr. Robert Chavinga being in the picture, he both says he has the papers of the party, the documentation of the party, and all these activities, all these things you're doing as the presidential hopefuls. Yeah. In fact, he urges that for you who have paid the 200,000 kwacha,
yes,
make a plan to get it back because it's now in void.
Robert Chavinga, which Central Committee does he chair? Okay, because the leader of the Patriotic Front chairs the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front. So and all decisions of that nature are actually arrived at from Central Committee deliberations. So which Central Committee does Honorable Chavinga chair? It's a simple question. I have never seen him in any Central Committee meeting. Okay? If Honorable Chavinga thinks he can take decisions, well, he's supported, of course, by UPND. He can do what he wants because, as you know, UPND is a government that is capable of doing anything. We have observed over the past 4 years that they have done unthinkable things. So even this, for me, I attribute it to the UPND because in a normal country, you can't even accept that Chavinga would be making such claims and the government is seated, because the government should be concerned about the state of democracy. It should be concerned about the state of the multipartism that we all, ascribe to. So I think that it's unfortunate not only for PF but for the nation at large, especially for the leadership that is there now.
So how do you expect the government to come in? Because you say the government should also be worried. How should they come in?
Okay, so when Chavinga went to Kabwe, to injunct the conference, okay, he went to a government entity, to an arm of government. He went to the judiciary. So the judiciary in Kabwe is the same as the judiciary in Kasama. It's the same as the judiciary here in Lusaka. Okay? Now, the judiciary here in Lusaka, at the same level, the High Court has said Mao Sampa is the legit president of the Patriotic Front Party. And Mao Sampa fired Chavinga, Mao Sampa fired Dingona, and their contest of their being fired was thrown out by the High Court here in Lusaka. As far as I am aware, there's no appeal anywhere. So how can the same High Court accept Ngona, who was fired by Mao's, to lodge in that injunction? So it is government.
So in short, you want the government to have a deliberate hand in the judiciary?
It's not deliberate. By government, look, when I mention government in this respect, I'm talking about the actions of the judiciary. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I will talk about the government in the same sense when speaking about the actions of the National Assembly, for example. I am saying government is pretty aware, but who is administering this government in this space at this time? It is UPND. So UPND has
So you're still linking it to the UPND,
of course,
essentially.
It's UPND.
So you want the UPND administration to have a hand in the judiciary?
As I said, unthinkable things. Things that you can't imagine that they could be done. UPND has done them. So I can't separate UPND from what Chavinga is doing.
But while you talk about what the UPND, you claim the UPND is doing, just, is it yesterday or 2 days ago you have your acting president suspending, or is it dropping people from positions?
Yes.
Later you've got Davis Mwila also making a statement that the decisions that Honorable Given Luwinda is making are now and void.
Yeah.
So people are confused. I mean, is this sort of back and forth?
Yes, I think
is what is causing people not to even believe in your own processes as the Patriotic Front Party.
Yeah. I think it's we as a nation we have come at a position where we are desperate. Okay, as a nation we are desperate, and I can understand the desperation of this country because we are living in a very difficult space. What everybody out there wants to see is an organized Patriotic Front Party, because they think, the people rightfully think, that the Patriotic Front is the only savior to the current economic and social malaise that the country finds itself in. Okay, now to see these difficulties, people are discouraged. I understand that. But let me assure you, my brothers, I do the people as well. There's nobody who is going to stop us from finding a solution for the people. Nobody in the Patriotic Front. Let me tell you.
You haven't found a solution in the last 4 years.
Let me tell you. I am saying, and I'm saying to you, and as I do, I'm saying it to our people. There is absolutely no one who is going to stop us from finding a solution for the people, whether it is inside of the Patriotic Front or outside of it, or even in the UPND. Nobody. We are going to fight, and we'll find a solution for the people, because you see, if we failed to find a solution for the people, we will be blamed, and we are not ready. A few of us have been discussing. We are not ready to be blamed by the Zambian people for many years to come, that we saw the problem with the maladministration of the UPND government and yet failed to solve simple problems within our own political party, and also problems that are brought about by the existence of UPND in leadership. So we are going to sort out this
problem. What are you attributing this postponement to? I think that's what I would like to get clarity on. Because on one end you say, yes, the UPND has a hand in it, but these are your own decisions. You are dropping people, you are suspending people. So what is going on? What has led to this drag, this postponement in the General Conference?
So listen, my brother. We, as I said, I don't speak on behalf of PF, okay? And that I am unwilling to talk about the issues that are being discussed inside of PF because I don't sit at a position where I should be the one to deliver the message, okay? But as I am saying,
are you worried as a presidential hopeful?
About what?
About the postponement of the conference.
And I am part of the people who sat to make that recommendation. And as I told you, the conference has not even yet been postponed because the Central Committee has not sat. When the Central Committee sits, the Central Committee will take a decision.
So meaning as it stands, it's due on for the 29th of November? As it stands?
It's a recommendation we gave to the, and that recommendation is going to be delivered to the Central Committee. If the Central Committee accepts the recommendation of the aspiring presidential candidates, then the postponement would be met. We as aspiring presidential candidates, we have no mandate, no jurisdiction to take a position on behalf of the party. It is only the Central Committee which has that mandate.
So meaning in a nutshell, the convention is due on? As
things stand. And unless and until the Central Committee takes a decision.
Now, with everything that's been going on within the Patriotic Front, I think the big question that people ask is, getting back again to even the involvement of Mr. Robert Chavinga, who says he's got the documentation. And clearly it's been difficult even for you as a party to contest in the by-elections because of all the court issues that are there at the moment. And if the situation prevails going into 2026, what is plan B, especially for you as the hopefuls? You've spent this money.
Options.
What is next?
Okay, so I would like you to stop focusing on the money that we spent, okay? I would like you to...
It's not a factor? The money is not a factor?
No, it's not. What is the problem right now is UPND being in government. That is what you must focus on. This CDF government is a problem Zambia has right now. My payment of 200,000 kwacha 2 to 3 years ago for to run as president of the party should not make anybody think at all. It's totally insignificant. What we all must focus on is how do we deal with UPND, which has caused so much misery.
And it still comes back to the same thing, because then people are going to be looking at the alternatives, and they're looking at now you as a Patriotic Front as the alternative. But it seems it's quite difficult for some people to have confidence in the Patriotic Front, because they're not quite sure if the Patriotic Front will win contest next year. And that's the bottom line of the question.
That's where I was coming. That's what I was coming to. I was just about to tell you that. I have declared here that we're going to solve the problem. Okay? I have told you that nobody is going to stop us from solving the problem. No one. And when I say nobody, I mean anyone inside of the PF and outside of the PF. And by so saying, I mean options will always avail themselves, and will explore all alternatives, all options available to us as a leadership until a reasonable and effective solution is found, which is going to solve the bigger problem of people, having been inflicted by so much pain by UPN.
Do you think you have enough time to do that?
We do. We do have time.
We haven't seen a lot from you as a presidential hopeful?
What would you like to see, my brother?
We see Honorable Brian Mundubile Match, we see Honorable Makebi Zulu. Are they the only ones busy as presidential hopefuls?
Okay, so what we are dealing with right now is an intra-party election. We are not dealing with a national election, okay? So we are canvassing votes from eligible members. Not OPF members can vote in the conference. They are eligible voters, and they are very well known.
Are you mobilizing privately?
Well, I have to keep campaigning, and I'm campaigning. I'm seriously campaigning, and my numbers are not small. My numbers are not insignificant. This I can tell you. But I'm not focusing on you, Cheswa. I'm not focusing on you, my young brother Chimweka. I am focusing on those who are eligible to vote in the convention.
So meaning you don't get worried when you see Mr. Makebi Zulu, Mr. Brian Mundubile pulling crowds of people at the secretariat and having so many people following them and moving with them. For you, that doesn't worry you from the party perspective.
Well, no, I'm not worried about that. You see, that could worry me if all those are voters in the convention. Okay, but I'm saying this is not a national election. Not to say what my colleagues are doing, they shouldn't do that. They are free to do that, but you have to leave it to them to conduct themselves in that fashion, as you leave me to conduct myself in this fashion.
Let's get into, building up onto tomorrow. First of all, what are your expectations as President Hakainde Hichilema addresses the country tomorrow?
Nothing. I don't expect anything when HH is addressing people. I don't waste my expectations. Remember, in the early days, I used to even write some things. These are my expectations. I've stopped expecting anything. I'll just wait. For me, there's totally nothing. Listen, HH told the nation that he has failed in the energy sector, and even included the Zambian people. So if he has failed and is convinced that he has failed, what must I expect tomorrow? There's load shedding today. Okay? The cost of energy, whatever source of energy you think about, is very expensive. And that is the area where he has actually confessed failure. So what must I expect? Totally nothing.
Shouldn't be expected of the roadmap, the way out? What his plans are to get the people of Zambia out of this?
His budget is on the floor of the House. It's under deliberation right now. His budget for 2026. I see no hope for the energy sector in that budget. They have provided 500 million for electricity fund. What is that? 500 million electricity fund. What is that? So I will listen to him, but I expect nothing.
But one of the things he mentioned, he sort of hinted or preempted one of the subjects you touch on, which is issues of hooliganism. He says you will not allow for that to happen under his watch.
It's already happening. Listen, it's already happening. HH can't say I won't allow. It's happening. It's already happening. Given Luminda, my friend, was beaten up, he himself was stoned. These things, look at what has been happening at the PF Secretariat.
But isn't that what leadership calls for? That you see this happening, and you have to put a stop to it. You need to address it as a Republican.
Is this the first time? Is this the first time he's going to tell you that you won't allow it? Is this the first time?
Well, hasn't it at least demonstrated the political will to stop it?
My dear, policemen, this thing has been going on. Policemen were scampered at a roadblock, running away from UPND cadres. Policemen in Mwense ran away from a police station, running away from UPND cadres. Okay? This thing began a long time ago where somebody who works in a DC's office in Kasama was beaten up, whipped, and it was a woman, whipped like a small person by UPND cadres. So I am sorry if these are the things you want to keep talking about. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
Because it was even worse when you were in government, and this is what the UPN is telling us.
I am happy
that people must be able to appreciate
Cheswa,
the peace that is prevailing now,
brother.
unlike what was happening when you were in government.
Cheswa, my young brother, this is the same thing we are talking about. People don't want load shedding. You can't say it was 4 hours in PF. And then, instead of taking it to 2 hours or 1 hour, you take it to 21 hours. You understand? You can't say people should not be shot dead because Nsamansama was shot dead. And then you begin to shoot dead small children in Mufrira. For just mid-meal, you shoot dead a 15-year-old young person. Do you remember the guy who was shot at Kateshi in Kasama? Okay? If you don't recall, I can remind you. Elsewhere, I told people, my nephew Ernest in Matero there was shot, was gunned down. I know a lot of people who have been shot dead, including people in these gold mines, who have died at gunshots. So don't say because it was then, it was worse. And then you have to stop that. But you see, rhetoric is bad. It's the same thing, it's the same rhetoric. You know, the UPN has been talking about the growth of the economy. Growth. You've heard about the average growth. What did what was the UPN's response to Dangote? When Dangote told them, you can't grow the economy without power. What was their response? So if it is me or anybody else who says, takwa our growth if you have fifi, what are they going to tell you? They'll tell you are bitter. You lost elections, you are bitter. But listen, for me, I didn't even lose elections. You said Galungu lost elections. But they'll say you are bitter, you lost elections.
But isn't it collective responsibility? I mean, because you were a cabinet minister, so you don't take it as collective responsibility?
What is that? Collective responsibility about what?
When you say that, you said Galungu.
No. And you have to hear me correctly here. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, when they tell us that you lost elections, okay? Stephen Kampiango didn't lose elections. Brian Mundubile didn't lose elections. I didn't lose elections. Sopa didn't lose elections. Okay, but there are MPs under PF who lost elections. Okay, and if by our president losing elections, then all of us lost, maybe you are correct, but we didn't. We were sworn in there. Okay?
Yeah, but the party lost elections.
The party.
You lost elections because you were going to be in government if you.
No, we are in government. The National Assembly of Zambia is government. I just refer to that area. Yeah, so
meaning you have no expectations for tomorrow and
nothing completely.
Nothing that you'd love for him to even to speak into.
Well, most of the things he says to me don't mean much. So I can't even look. I can't be there saying, "Let's hope the president will talk about."
So, would you rather the president just stays quiet until
it's up to him?
Voting day.
It is up to him. It's up to him. It's not for me. Listen, I don't think about him that way.
But he's your president as well.
Yes, he has been my president since 2021, and I have followed him, and I've come to a point where I'm saying to myself, there's no point. We'll just be waiting for voting day. There's absolutely no point. He's come to the National Assembly there to address us. I've heard him.
But at the same time, you are a member of parliament from the opposition, and part of your role is to keep checks and balances.
Yes.
So when we talk about your expectations, people would like to hear what alternatives you'd love for the president to speak into.
There can be no alternative before he speaks. I can't, look, I won't sit here or at my home or anywhere to start thinking about what HH is going to deliver to the people. Because I've listened to him enough. Okay? I've listened to him enough. And my conclusion is that it's the same old story. It's the same old story. I don't expect anything new tomorrow. So I won't even sit and start thinking, Baba President bakala ndepo pabunga, bakala ndepo pali fuel. I won't.
One of the most critical issues that, of course, is expected to talk about is around the constitution amendment process. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you think have been contentious in Bill 7. But before that, also, perhaps I should ask about these protests.
Yeah.
What's been your conclusion around this whole back and forth around the protests, and ministers now telling us that they would not suggest or would not encourage the Catholics and the Oasis Forum to go and demonstrate and march to State House?
Okay, so first of all, Bill 7 is a dead bill. That's the first thing. Bill 7 has been declared unconstitutional by the Constitutional Court. The highest court, which deals with the interpretation of the Constitution, has told UPND that this bill is unconstitutional. It's illegal. That is the starting point.
Because of the process.
Because of the process.
It came
absolutely.
And the lack of engagement according to the court.
Absolutely. The process was unconstitutional. Yes. The process that UPND deployed to arrive at Bill 7. Okay? It's like having a child, they come and tell you, this child, the method you used is unlawful. Therefore, it's an illegitimate child. Okay?
I don't know if that example fits, but
no.
I don't know if there's such a thing when it comes to children.
No. Illegitimate children are there. We all know that, and it's okay. Okay, usually parents.
Because it's still a child, right?
Yes,
the child is there. The child has to be taken care of, raised.
Okay, but maybe I should say that example doesn't fit into that, right? Because you are right. I agree with you. Yeah. So I am saying the bill is unconstitutional. The process that UPND followed to craft that bill was declared unlawful by the Constitutional Court. Okay? What any sane person would do is that if you still want to amend the Constitution, is to come up with another bill, a new bill, which should follow the process as described or prescribed, whatever the case is. Okay? But what has UPND done? UPND deferred that bill on the floor of the House and began a process to try and legitimize the bill, which is already declared unconstitutional. So the bill we are talking about right now is Bill 7, which bill has been declared unconstitutional. That's a bill we're talking about. Now, who hasn't spoken? The Law Association of Zambia has spoken. The Catholics have spoken. Other church mother bodies have spoken. Civil society organizations have spoken. Some members of parliament have spoken. Some other leaders, other eminent Zambians have spoken who represent masses out there. UPND has refused to listen. So what remains of the people? What remains of the people?
Are you among those being coerced to support this bill?
No, nobody can talk to me about that. Remember, I was this thing about constitutional amendment. I was the first one to speak against it. The first time that President Akainde, brought this thing, brought the idea of delimitation.
Members of Parliament are receiving cash to support this.
The bribes, right? So bribes are also illegal. And you see, if that is true,
then this is happening.
No, I can't, because a bribe is illegal. So people do those things in secret.
So it hasn't happened.
I don't know.
But just getting back to the point, it says you're one of the first ones.
I was actually the first one, not one of the first.
You were the first one. Did you equally also condemn Bill 10? Did you have the same feeling about Bill 10?
Bill 10 took a different process. You understand? Bill 10 even had a law that was enacted okay, which was establishing the process. The NDF Act was enacted. So Bill 10 was, significantly different in the manner it came into existence. You can't compare Bill 10 with...
So in a nutshell, what you're saying is what you're uncomfortable with is the process, but not exactly the content.
No. When I spoke against delimitation, okay, which the president dangled in the National Assembly as a justification to amend the Constitution, I spoke in terms of expanding the cost of running government. Because do you know that in Bill 7, the proposed increase to members of parliament is 92? Okay? 92. So if that bill goes through, the government will expand National Assembly by 92 members of parliament. Okay? So I am saying no. You can't expand the cost of running government to that extent. It's irresponsible. Why do I think it is irresponsible? I think it is so because the cost of living is too high. I think it is so because you are only providing 500 million to the electricity fund in your 2026 budget. In fact, you have not even made any provision whatsoever in the 2026 budget to reflect your desired expansion of the running of government. There's nothing. Okay? You have now begun to pay debt. You are paying over $1 billion. That money will have to be found within this constrained fiscal space. So government has no morality whatsoever to start thinking about expanding parliament in that fashion. But also what is terrible is that today we are sitting with a desire by government to expand constituencies by 55. But you don't even have a report from the ECZ which is showing you which constituencies must be delimited.
But what we're hearing, when it's around delimitation, the argument that's coming through from the those in support of Bill 7 and the delimitation process, that these actually processes started under the Patriotic Front government.
Yes. How many constituencies are there in the 2019 report? They are 11. So Patriotic Front was going to delimitate 11 constituencies. And the report is there. The report was presented to Cabinet. I saw the report. I have the report, okay, from ECZ. This 55, which UPND wants to delimitate, there is no report. It's abracadabra. You don't run a country.
But in a nutshell, so is it safe to say that the content of Bill 7 is so similar to the content of Bill 10?
No. Delimitation of 11 constituencies and 55 constituencies plus all those you are calling proportional representation to go to 92 can never be similar.
Well, not exactly the same. That's what we say.
They are not similar.
But if we look at Bill 7, is that the only clause you find contentious?
Of course, no. There are other very useless clauses. The Attorney General, right? And the Solicitor General. This bill is proposing that if HH loses elections next year and he hands over power peacefully, okay, those two should continue in office. Why should the Attorney General, who will have misled the president to a point of losing elections, continue in office after his president has left? Okay? So why are you worried about the security of tenure of the Attorney General? One other clause. Have you seen how the civil service has been messed up? This particular constitutional amendment is proposing to reduce the amount of experience for the Secretary to Cabinet from 10 years to 5 years. Somebody who has worked in government for 5 years can be appointed Secretary to Cabinet as the top civil servant who will be advising the president, who will be sitting in Cabinet.
But what's wrong with 5 years' experience?
5 years is nothing. Look at how the civil service has been messed up with that level of experience. Now you want to reduce it to 5 years. 5 years, my friend, you are still a clerk. Even in an audit firm, you can't become an audit senior in 5 years. You can't joke with a country like that.
But in the legal side of things, in 5 years you can own a law firm.
You can even own an accounting firm, but can you go in an established firm and become become an associate? Even in accounting terms, some of us who studied accounting,
we've got to go. Are you confident of winning Lunte constituency next year?
I'm talking about president. Why are you talking about Lunte? I've not lost at the convention. I haven't lost. Come and ask me this question if I'm available. I'm not right now. I'm talking about president.
So people of Lunte should just
no.
Unless at presidential level.
Listen.
If you don't take the PF presidency, what next?
I'll consult the people. Consult the people.
Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, thank you so much for making time to speak with us on tonight's edition of Diamond Live.
Thank you very much. Thank you as well for watching our show tonight. Remember, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make a date with us at 21:15 hours. My name is Chimweka Chileshe.
And I'm Cheswa Peter Kapasa. Thanks for watching. Good night.